if I'm paying everything, then damn it, you better know how to cook.
You hear me?
I mean, it's gonna be steak and head every night.
Okay. Hey, listen.
Hey guys, welcome to our channel. My name is Sugar, this is
Spice,
and we're doing a breakdown of an interview that we found online from Kris from Ready to Love. So you made it to part 2. That means you might still like us, I don't know. I want to start this off again by saying this is not a hate video. It's just us seeing things from a different perspective now that we have more information on how he feels about this particular topic, how he feels about finances. If you did not see part 1, we will leave the link in the comments. If you want to see the full video, we will leave the link in the description. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure you follow us on all of our socials at Sugar and Spice 88 for Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. Almost missed one.
I'm gonna point something else out too. Kris, you keep talking about the Gen Xers, the Gen Ys, the Gen Z. Listen, how old are you? Kris is at least, he's in his 40s. And my whole thing is, why are we talking about Gen X this, Gen X that? Like, stop saying that. At the end of the day, stick to your own generation.
You're not you're not picking up 20-year-olds out here. So what are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
I also want to point this out. Naya never said, I want to sit home and do absolutely nothing. What she said was, obviously she doesn't have a problem working. She's working right now.
Right.
What she says was, when I get pregnant, I need you to be able to still handle everything that we got going on.
Right.
She didn't say, I don't want to contribute crap. I don't want to do nothing. She didn't say that. You're painting this narrative as if it's this or this, black or white.
He's almost trying to act like he's putting on his red cape to save us from ourselves.
To set us free.
Because we don't want the man to make all the money, because put on my red cape, your independence will be taken.
Is in the balance.
Okay, so why can't I be an authorized user on the credit card? Why can't I be the co-signer on the house? Why can't I also be the co-applicant on the car note? Why can't
because if we're married,
why can't both our names be on everything? So that way my credit is being built up. So that way I will qualify for a loan.
Also, who's to say that before I met you, my credit wasn't 800?
Right. Like, I came from my father's house with no credit, married you, and have no credit. Why?
Again, 40. You think she don't have a credit score? No report with Equifax. No, she don't know what's going on. You know, I came into it just trying to really see it from his perspective, but from his perspective, to me, it just doesn't make any sense, and it just sounds like I'm trying to paint it away so that you see the best thing for us to do is for you to take care of majority of the bills. Like, you're trying to paint it to make it look the way you want it.
Right.
Let's get into it.
Or submission, because Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? I might get crucified right now, but there are things that come into play with that. And I think both people, the man and the woman, both have to be submissive to each other. So there's some kind of a balance. But again, it comes to communication.
Thank you. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because for me, you're a human being, you're a person.
Right.
So with this structure that is set up in Western society, where it is the way that it is, and the man is paying for everything, but also with that same mentality, if I'm paying everything, then damn it, you better know how to cook.
You hear me?
I mean, it's gonna be steak and head every night.
Hey, listen.
Look, serious
even though we
face.
say that, right? No, I agree with you.
He's
So-
dead
100%.
serious.
To me, it's just like, how does that make? I don't like just having that kind of power, or just something
They're
over
disgusting.
any person. Like,
Right.
I wouldn't want a woman or any person to feel like that, like they don't have no kind of freedom, because of the strain, and the man is bringing in everything. I'm trying to, I want to treat people like treat you like a person, not a piece of property. And this business contract that is called marriage
Marriage.
ain't
Right.
got nothing
Right.
to do with love. Excuse me, I'm
Right.
sorry, early in the morning. Ain't got
Hey,
nothing to
it's
do
all
with
good.
love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And just the way that things are set up is just not.
Well,
Let me shut up before I get myself in trouble.
you speak of
It's just like, I've heard this clip before, but hearing it again, it's just like, oh my gosh. Okay. So let's start here, right? Why are you equating how you treat a woman to finances? So what you're saying is, if you take care of a woman, she is no longer a person, and she is now some kind of indentured servant. She's property. She just has to do whatever you want, whenever you want. You start off, and that's the red cape thing, where it's like, me, I want to treat people like people. You're a person.
You're a human.
You're a human being, for God's sake. I want to treat you like a person. That's why I can't pay all these bills, baby.
Because if I pay all the bills, now your property.
Steak ahead every night.
Oh my God.
Because I said so. You paying bills has nothing to do with how you treat someone. It shouldn't have anything to do with how you treat someone.
So I lose all of my rights to any decisions and free will because you're paying bills.
Okay. Woo. Again, the whole situation started because of this Naya thing, and she never said she wasn't. From my knowledge, I never heard her say, I'm not willing to contribute tactile, like I'm gonna be just kicking it. But you're making it black and white that, well, the problem is y'all saying that I should pay every single bill in the household. That means I got complete and total power over everything. I feel like if you're thinking like that, you don't have no business getting married.
Right.
Because even if you were paying for everything and you're expecting a woman to cook, clean, take care of the household, take care of the kids, I don't know how you take value away from that.
Yo,
I'm not going to hold you.
That's the hardest job out here.
I don't have kids, but I have a many nieces and nephews. I have my god kids, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll go to work.
Yeah.
Before I stay at home with the kids all day. I'm not going to lie. Kids are work.
Yes.
Kids are work.
Yes.
It's not just sunshines and rainbows over here. So I don't even know where you're talking. You're trying to take the value away from what the person staying home would be doing.
Right. As if that has no meaning. Because at the end of the day, if let's say you were working all day and you weren't able to do the stuff at home. Let's say you had to pay somebody to do every little thing at home. You got to pay for a chef. You got to pay for a maid. You got to pay for childcare. You got to pay for just general basic nurturing. Because remember, she's not just a mom, she's a wife too. Mm-hmm. So now you need somebody to be there as a companion as well. Well, guess what? If you have to put a dollar amount on that, that's a pretty high price. So why are you acting as if all that a woman is doing when she decides to be a stay-at-home mom is completely like no value? And you bringing in the physical cash is.
And I feel like the reason he's saying that is because in his head, the way he wants to do things and the way he wants to stay home, he's not staying home so, I can take care of these kids.
No.
Oh, the kids going to daycare.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going to stay home.
Right.
And now I'm going to do my radio show, which according to you, it's not making any money.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing it for the love. So, you know, I'm just going to live out my dreams of having a wife, having kids, doing my radio show, and
whatever gaps need to be filled, he will fill it.
That's the crazy part. He's not even talking about real 50. You're saying with Naya, like, yeah, I feel like everything should be a partnership. Everything should be 50-50. You're not really trying to go 50-50. When we're talking about 50-50, we're talking about the housework. We're talking about the laundry. We're talking about these children. We're talking about the bill. We're talking about everything. If you really want to talk about 50-50, don't just say, oh, it's 50-50, but I'll split the bills with you, but then I want you to be basically primary caregiver of the kids. And, you know, so she still has to go to work, still has to take care of the kids. You still expect her to cook dinner for you and everything. And then you just working.
I still have not yet in this interview heard him say, I cook, I clean, I will be watching these kids too. I have not heard it.
And you're not going to hear it. And it's like in the interview, he just constantly, to me, it seems like he keeps contradicting himself.
Because he is. And the thing about it is, Kris, you could not pay all the bills if you wanted to. You said it yourself. Ain't no money in radio. So why you keep coming with these fake scenarios with you paying all the bills?
Why
you can't afford to pay all the bills.
You never intended to pay all the bills.
You can't pay all the bills.
So why are you trying to make it like there's a decision to be had? So now let me ask you something, Kris. Since you were saying that Naya makes more than you and you were just filling the gaps, do she get steak and head every night? Do the same rules apply to you? Or no?
Right.
Just curious.
Are you not a person anymore?
Right.
Are you property at this point?
Is she stripping your independence and your power and your freedom?
According to you.
I understand maybe might be somebody's household work, but to me that is crazy talk.
Right.
You're not going to tell me that my freedom, my voice, my opinion, my thoughts, and what I get to do with my life changes if you put in more on the bills than I do. Anything could happen in a marriage. What if she lose her job?
Right. You need to be able to cover the bills,
right,
and sustain the family for however many months until we could get back on our feet. And you're sitting here looking at it like, well, I'm not going to be the person who gets taken advantage of in that way of paying all the bills when it's still a partnership. A partnership doesn't mean that you both split the finances 50-50. A partnership means that there's some things that you do more of and some things that she does more of. Some things you do less of and some things that she does less of. But it all comes together and you guys are partners. Like at the end of the day, the issue, it just comes down to that you don't want to pay the bills. You don't want to pay majority of the bills. And instead of just saying, I can't afford to pay majority of the bills, I don't make the money and my ass does not want to go out and get a second job so I could do so. I don't want to work 2 and 3 jobs.
Or even saying I would prefer to be a stay-at-home dad. Or whatever the case may be, whatever scenario you have in your head, you could have just said that. But don't try to put it on us.
So instead of being a person who says, at the end of the day, I don't make a lot of money, but I will do whatever it takes to support my family. Whether that means get a second job, whether that means get a third job, whether that means that you can't work and I need to be the person to make sure that we get over until you can get back to work. You, instead of saying that and saying that you will do whatever you can for your family, you rather say, well, women need to make sure that they are contributing financially just as much as men because we're in 2020 right now and it shouldn't be up to the men to provide financially anymore because we're in a new day and women want to be empowered. At the end of the day, don't push your insecurities on women and try to act like we're the bad guys for wanting you to secure us financially when women secure men in so many different ways, including financially, without a word, without a complaint, without a second thought. Because as women, we will do whatever it takes to take care of our family. So as a man, why aren't you willing to do the same? It just doesn't make any sense. So with Kris, I really, really wish that he could just be honest and just say, call a spade, but he can't do that.
Right.
He would rather take the cowardly way out and push it on us as women to make us feel like the kind of mindset that we have is wrong and twisted, and we need to change our way of thinking. And we need to choose what we want, what route we want to go to.
All right, so next clip.
Let's continue.
And then one of the killer things that I think is so very important is for us men, and there are women out there who, especially right now in today's society, women are go-getters. So there, it seems to be a lot more.
Who are leading everything. Like,
exactly,
they're making more money. They are running. Yes. I mean, Beyonce said it 10 years ago, and it's prevalent today. Who run the world? Girls, women are running the shit,
killing it. So it makes it harder for an average man, right? To try to, if you're attracted to a woman that has a position of power,
wow,
or makes more money than you, it's harder. And I can't, obviously, I'm not speaking for all women, right? Just in generality, but it's a proven thing that it's harder for a man who doesn't make as much money, who isn't necessarily on her level, but might be a perfect fit for her to be able to accept him.
Proven where? Where is it proven?
It's a proven thing.
Was there a study done?
That women won't accept a man who makes less money than them.
I'm so sorry, but I know firsthand that's a lie.
Yo,
I'm so sorry.
That is wow. So, okay, so we're going to sit here, we're going to say women are running the ish. Women are killing it in all these industries. We're making so much money. Women, where the statistics at? Where's the proof at? Because women are still getting paid less on the dollar than men.
In particular,
today, 2021. And specifically black women are getting paid less on the dollar.
And Hispanic women even more, less than that.
So where's all of this coming from? Then you want to quote Beyonce, who run the world girls. Beyonce, don't use Beyonce to try and justify your broke boyness. Don't do that. I'm a turn it right back around, and I'm gonna ask you what Cardi B said.
Broke boys don't deserve no pussy.
I know that's right. The great philosopher Cardi B.
Not for nothing, the men on Ready to Love this season, Joel got about 2-3 jobs. Ron got about 2-3 jobs. Like, and their initial job, Joel is a drilling engineer. Ron is, I can't remember at this point in time, but he's doing very well himself, but he still has side businesses to still bring in additional income. So I don't understand why you can't do radio and also do something else.
Financially, maybe you're not as ready for kids as you think you are. Maybe you really don't want to have kids because kids are not cheap. I don't know if you know this, but kids are not cheap. You know, they require a lot of things just in general. They are literally depending on you to live.
Yes.
On top of all the other stuff that it comes with, doctor's visits, they might need braces, all types of stuff come up when it pertains to children. So if something comes up and if you're not willing to, like you said, do what needs to be done, then don't set that as a goal. Don't say like, oh, I want to get married and have kids, if those are not sacrifices that you are necessarily willing to make. If you make $5 an hour and you're comfortable making that $5 an hour, and you feel like you're living comfortable for you with that $5 an hour, cool for you. But then when you talk about bringing a wife into the situation, then when you talk about bringing kids into the situation, that's not going to cut it. No. And you can't just say because it worked for you single, it's going to now work in this situation. Now you got to step your game up. Yes. More is required from you.
Yes. I don't understand what women making more money has to do with the situation. Like, at the end of the day, I thought we were talking about whatever happened in the case of, the situation with Kris and Naya. Okay. Kris assumed that Naya makes more money than him. Now, when it comes to pertaining to the bills, if I make $100,000 a year, I can make more than you. You can make $90,000 a year. Okay, so I make a little bit more than you. I don't have no issue accepting you. We pretty much make the same amount. But if I'm making $100,000 a year and you're sitting here making $20,000 a year, and I know that I want to have children, and I decide to have children. In Naya's case, if she is high risk for miscarriage. So if I have to sit down for the next year, minimum the next year, because you still have to heal after you have the child as well. So I know if I have to sit down the moment I conceive and get pregnant, so I have to go without income for at least a year, your $20,000 is not going to cover us. We're not going to be, it's not about me not being able to accept you. You literally cannot carry the finances so that we can survive.
Right. God forbid anything happen.
So we need you to make sure that you provide for this family if I need to sit my behind down for whatever reason. And we can't afford for me to sit down is an issue. I don't have the option to sit down if I have to. That is an issue. And for whatever reason, Kris and this guy in this interview, Ryan, they just want to completely overlook it and continue to put it in the woman's hands as if they're the problem. I'm the one having the child. I'm the one getting pregnant. There's no 50-50 in that. I'm 100% pregnant. I'm 100% at risk for miscarriage. My body is 100% the one going through changes. And if I have this child and I decide that I want to take a year off because I want to bond with my child, it's my first child. I want to nurture my child. I want to breastfeed my child for the first year because breastfeeding is extremely important. The first 2 years. If I choose that, if I want to do that, guess what? I can't. Because my husband does not make enough money to sustain us for me to even take a break from work if I want to be at home with our child. That's stressful in and of itself. Women have to factor that in, that you don't have that option to stop working if you have to or if you want to because you had a child.
Not to mention the possibility of postpartum depression.
Postpartum depression, people healing from C-sections. Also, you never know if you have a child that may be sick and you have to do a bunch of doctor's visits. I should, as a wife, feel the protection to be able to not have to work if I make that choice, at least temporarily. I'm not saying indefinitely because majority of women are independent women and they do want to work and they do want to have money coming in and they do want to help and, contribute to the household. That's not an issue. That's why all these women are working now. That's not the issue. The issue is that you taking the option away from me for being able to sit down because I'm a high risk pregnancy because you making, I'm just throwing this number out here, $20,000 a year. And it takes way more than that to sustain a family.
And like, that was where all of this stemmed from. And it's just like, you know how they say, if you just let people talk long enough, you'll just hear their innermost thoughts. And I feel like that's kind of what happened here. And I feel like he felt even more comfortable because everyone was kind of crowding around him in support, like, oh, Nia did you so wrong, Nia did you so wrong. He felt even more comfortable to say the things that he's saying in this interview pertaining to women. And you just showed your whole behind. Because like you said, the issue at hand was, I'm going to need to sit down. I don't have a problem contributing. That was not the issue. The issue was, I don't have the options to sit down. So now really, I can't have kids. I literally cannot. That's the issue. They made it to be like, oh, Nia was just some gold digging hussy. And because he was just old brokey McBroke.
Which he is.
Well, yeah. Alarm bell started ringing because she's like, whoa. So basically what you're saying is I can't have kids because not only did you say that I don't make enough money for you to do it, you're saying that you want to fall back and fill in the gaps, which means that, and it sounds like, you can say I'm being presumptuous, that sounds like to me you're not willing to step it up. I'm talking about you stepping up. You talking about falling back.
Right.
Why are you talking about filling in the gaps?
Opposite spectrum of the provider role here.
Exactly.
Like, not even 50-50. Like, you're saying split the mortgage, split the water, whatever. But in reality, the truth was you want to fill in the gaps.
It's one thing to disagree on how finances should be handled, but then when you make it like some kind of gender battle where it's like the problem is you women need to
what y'all need to do.
It's like
now you're antagonizing me.
Right. And like we said, there's different types of partnerships. There's different types of roles to be taken to come together.
There's literally roles where the woman comes home later. She gets off work later. So the man is the one who's picking up the kids and starting dinner and getting the kids to bed because the woman comes home later in the night because she has a long commute. There's roles where the man is the one that takes them to school and gets them ready for school and makes sure that their lunches and stuff is packed because their school is on the way to his job and her job is the opposite direction. So he's the one who gets them to school and does drop-offs and carpool and whatever.
So it's like, it's very circumstantial.
It is a conversation. But the conversation that you think that you want to have is that you know that you're making $20,000 a year and that you cannot realistically, financially provide majority of the bills. So your conversation really wants to look like you're going to have to cover majority of these bills. And I just want you to know this. And I want you to not have a problem with it. And you know, it's 2020, right?
Like you say, he's saying it's a conversation, but you only want the conversation to go one way.
Exactly.
It's not, you know, some people just can't tell.
Oh my God.
When they're telling on themselves. This is just what's happening. Like, you're being very obvious, Kris, that you want it to be a certain way, which is why you kept contradicting yourself because it doesn't make any sense. It's like part of you wants to make sense, but you also are being contradicted by the fact that you want to paint a picture that what's best for you is to, as a woman, is to pay majority of the bills.
Right.
Like I said, this is not a Kris bashing video. We're just digging a little deeper into his perspective, especially since, you know, the Nia thing was such a big deal, you know, and the reason they even brought him back is just really interesting to see his perspective. And you kind of even dig a little deeper into his personality and his way of thinking with this interview. So now, I'm throwing this clip in too because I just thought it was interesting. In a previous review of Ready to Love, Amber asked Kris how he felt about marriage. And he says, hey, if you want to get married, let's get married. But it's not the end all be all. It's not the goal. It's not the end result of this dating thing. And we were like, to me, that sounds like you don't want to get married because you basically gave her two answers. It's like, I'm going to give you the answer that you want, and then I'm going to give you my real answer underneath it. But you're so blinded. I threw this out here first. You ain't see that, and now I just put this here on the table. Some people were disagreeing with us, but I just think it's interesting that, like I said, if you let people talk long enough. in this interview, he said that, that marriage is a business contract.
He did say that, yep.
It's a business relationship. It has nothing to do with love. And then he says this.
Let me say this.
Yes, ma'am.
The first 10 years, we lived together. He was on point with everything. When we got married, that's when everything started to go downhill.
So
back to that. And I hear this a lot and I see this a lot. What is it about this paper and that ceremony that brings it down?
Man.
Now y'all got the real answer. He got excited too. See,
I knew it.
I hear this a lot.
When you get married, it just goes downhill from there.
This a lot. What is about this piece of paper?
Oh man,
that does not sound like a man who has intentions of getting married anytime soon or at all.
You're on Ready to Love, Kris.
That part.
What are you looking for? Are you looking for a roommate or what's happening here?
I don't know. Maybe he just wants to have kids.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Kris.
I don't know either. I feel as though maybe he's one of the people who just might be here for exposure. He obviously does not want to get married. And everybody on this show is looking for the end goal to be marriage. So if that's not what you want, why are you on this show? What is your ulterior motive to be here?
Even if you didn't want to get married and you came on the show Ready to Love to look for, I don't know what they call it, a life partner, I guess.
Right.
Why not just say that?
Yeah, because other people are saying what they want. Liz is saying that she wants to be abstinent until marriage. People are saying what they want. Like, say what you want. Be honest. But it's worse when you try and lie, too. You try and say, you want to get married, let's get married. But that's not how you really feel. And it's the dishonesty. I don't appreciate it. I don't feel as though, like, that's necessary. Like, there's other people who don't want to get married, too, probably. You don't know.
Again, this is not a hate on Kris party, hate train.
No.
Shots fired. It's none of that. It's just what we do on this channel. Looking at, certain things we see and analyzing it from our perspective. Let us know if you agree, if you disagree. Maybe you picked up on something, that we didn't.
We need y'all to sound off in these comments.
Please,
okay? Because we need to talk about this. Like, this is honestly, I feel like Kris really pulled one over on a lot of people. A lot of people were like, justice for Kris. I don't think they really saw where Nia was coming from because of how she acted.
Right.
So that really gave him the opportunity to kind of hide under the radar, because the only thing that really stood out to us was her overreaction.
Yeah.
Shout out to Zahira again for having us look back and check out the clip.
And having us go down this rabbit hole.
Listen, we took y'all with us. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys also have something to say about it, because we want to hear what y'all think. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. When you subscribe, hit that notification bell button so that you can know when we drop a new video. And also, don't forget to follow us on all of our socials at Sugar and Spice 88. And that's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And we look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye.
Good morning. Good energy. Today we gonna spread good energy. Today we gonna share good energy.
I go to work.
Today gonna be a great good
Wake
energy.
up, thank God, drink water, meditate.
Good
First
energy.
5 minutes will dictate your whole day.
Good
All
energy.
about that positivity and raising up your frequency.
Good
If you
energy.
negative, you will get removed immediately.
Good
Say
energy.
eat clean, alkaline, nourishing.
Good
What you
energy.
put